going? It's me, Brenda, from Brenda's Knots and Loops. Today I'm going to show you how to make a snowman out of this lovely yarn from Premium. It's a chunky number 5. You can use any yarn, any size you want. I do recommend you use the needle that the hook that they call for, even though I'm not. They call for a number 8. I am using, I think this is a 6.5 because I can't find my 8. Okay, you can use any size yarn, Then, like this one, I've already started. See, and it's shiny, and yes, it's got brown spots from when I spilled coffee on my desk, and I thought I'd make an interesting snowman. Maybe it looked like it got splashed by some mud. So use any size yarn you want. So let's get started. Let's do a slip stitch. Put on your hook. Now you can do a magic circle if you like. I want you to chain up 4. I want you to slip stitch to the very first chain on your hook. Okay, chain 1. Okay, I want you to, let me get my yarn here situated. I want you to do 10 single crochets in the middle. Make sure you get in the very middle. Don't worry about your tail. So let's do 10 single crochets. Put in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now if you run out of room, just hold this side and then pull this side down. Okay? 9 and 10. Now you can pull your tail and close the hole, but you can sew that shut later. Okay? Now I want you to chain 1. Now, in that same chain, same hole right here, I want you to put 2 single crochets. Okay? Now I want you to put a stitch marker in your first single crochet. Okay? Then I want you to do 2 single crochets in every stitch. Unfortunately, I made my stitches a little tight, so I got kind of forced to get in there. So 2 in every stitch. So we'll have a total of 20. Okay, there's 2. Move around. Just that 2 in every hole. Now when you get to the end, make sure you don't put a stitch in the chain 1 space. Make sure you just do it in the stitches. Okay? You can count to make sure, but slip stitch. I'm going to remove my stitch marker so I can slip stitch into the first single crochet. Okay, chain 1, one single crochet back in that same space. Place your stitch marker so you know which one is your first stitch and not your chain 1. Now put 2 single crochets in the next stitch, 1 single crochet in the next, 2 in the next, and so on till we get to the other end. So we do 1, and 2, 1, and 2, 1, and 2, just like making a pumpkin. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Now, if you did this right, you'll always end up on 2 stitches. Okay. Slip stitch to the top, first stitch, chain 1, single crochet in the same stitch, replace your marker. Now, don't worry about your hole being really big. We're going to sew that shut for you. Okay, so now we want to do 1 in the next, 1 in the next, and 2. So we're doing 3 singles. Get some yarn up here. 3 singles and 3 and 3. Then we do 2 in the same hole. So 1, 2, 3. Don't worry about it puckering or curling. It'll be fine. 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Oops. Get back and see if I can get in the middle camera. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. I had to pull out a couple stitches. Sorry about that. For some reason it's catching right there. It says your arm is fuzzy. 1. So it's got wool in it. 3, 2. Now, I wanted to mess up. That's why I backed up. Because I wanted to show you. 1, 2. Now I'm supposed to have 3 stitches. I got 1 stitch right there, but I'm shorted stitch. Don't worry. Just don't worry that you're shorter stitch. Just end with a 2. If you have too many stitches, just keep on stitching. You don't have to worry about being exact amount of stitches in this. Slip stitch to the top, because this is chain 1, slip stitch, a single crochet, because this is a lumpy bumpy snowman. So you don't have to be right on exact. Now we've got to decide how big we want our snowman. This is the base so far. Do I want to continue making him bigger? Because the bigger his base is, the bigger snowman he'll be. So depending on how big you want your snowman, what you do is we do the same thing we've been doing, except you add, see, that's three single crochets in a row. Now we add 4, then 2, then the next round would be 5, and then 2 in a row until you get the size that you want, the base of your snowman. Okay. One, 2, 4. You don't have to be right exact. Just make sure that you add so that you know it increases. Because you're going to really like the next step. And like I said earlier, a snowman is 2 pumpkins on top of each other, one pumpkin smaller than the other. Snowman is also a Santa Claus with a beard and a hat, which I will be making a video of that. With this thicker the thread, the bigger around the round get. The round is a lot bigger than it was the last time around. So gotta realize that also into count. Okay. Slip stitch to the top first one, chain 1, some crochet in that same stitch. Now I have it as big a round as I want it to be. So now all I want you to do is do a single crochet all the way around. Don't have to count. Don't have to worry. No worries. It's a single crochet all the way around. We're starting to build up our sides of our snowman. I got my base done. Oops. Sorry. Looking around this camera and the legs, I mean. Guess I could look through the legs, huh? I was looking around the legs. I get sidetracked. Okay. Almost all the way around. Guess I'm halfway. Sorry. Yeah, I was farther ahead than I was. And a snowman is also can be an angel. You just put wings on her. And a face. A different kind of face. you don't have to follow this pattern. Really, if you have a favorite pumpkin pattern you have, just make one bigger and one smaller and sew one on top of the other to make your snowman. Okay, that's easy. Okay, we're really coming up on the stitch marker this time. Remove my stitch marker so I can slip stitch. Instead of slip stitching, what I want you to do is I want you to single crochet in that. Replace your stitch marker, and now we don't have to do the chain one anymore. It's a constant circle now. Okay, I want you to go all the way around again, single crochet, and then we'll start making our bumpies. Lumpies. Some people don't like bumpies, but I'm bumpy. Bumpy and lumpy. So all the way around. Single crochets. Next round we start having fun. Single crochets. Like I said, we're doing it in the round now. We don't have to count, don't have to worry. On this round anyway, you don't have to count. Don't have to really count on any of them. I'm going to show you why. And then almost coming up. And I'm not even going to move my stitch marker. I just want to know where we started and where we began. Okay, so just keep on going, single crochets. Now I want to do a decrease. A decrease, you go in, yarn over, pull out, go in, yarn over, pull out. We'll have 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 3. That's a decrease. Okay, so you want to do those randomly. So let's do 4 stitches, another decrease. Do 5 stitches and a decrease. A pumpkin, when you make it, it's not random. They are staggered, so your pumpkin is round. I don't want to be my snowman to be round. So we're doing 4. And you can do these as randomly as you like, or you can follow along what I'm doing. I'm doing another 5 and then a decrease. So I'm rotating between 4 stitches and 5 stitches is what I'm doing right now. Oops, got both loops there. And if you lose count, no big deal. You'll be fine. Yep, it looks like we're doing a lot of decreases, and we are. Okay, that's why I'll give it the bumpy look. Okay, we're coming back up. Now what I'm going to do is how it's curling in. I want to crochet on the outside because it's a lot easier for me to crochet on the outside than inside. So okay, now I'm going to go 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, decrease. Now I'm going to go every 6 and do a decrease. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a decrease. Like I said, you can do these as close or as far apart as you like, but can you see how we're getting indents already? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, indent. And can you see how much easier it is to crochet on the outside and then the inside? Okay, we're at the beginning again. So, oops, already stitching that hole. Okay, 2, 3, let's do an indent. I'll do 2 and an indent. Get some more yarn up. Let's do 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, a decrease, 3, 2, 3, decrease, 1, 2, decrease, let's do a 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, decrease, do a 4, back here at the beginning. Okay, now on. Okay, now I want to, just for orneriness sakes, I'll rotate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do 6, 7. We're doing 10, 8, 9, 10, and a decrease, and another 10 and decrease. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oopsie, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and decrease. Like I said, you just do these whenever you think. Just keep on, I push mine down and look and see. I just don't want to do all my decreases in the same spot. Okay? That's the main thing. You don't do the same decreases in the same spot as you did in the row below. And decrease. And yes, I'm just making this up as I go. This is the first snowman I've made. I made that pumpkin I showed in my shows, or the gourd. It looks more of a gourd than a pumpkin, but so you just do, and now I'm not going to tell you anymore how often I'm doing them, because I want you to make the decision. When do you want to make that decrease? To make, our goal now is to make this hole smaller, but also make it a snowman, the body big enough. But snowmans come in all sizes, you know, not all tall. There's some squatty. This little guy, I want him to be a little squatty, because that's just the way I want him to be. You can make them as big and as little as you want. Just don't make your decreases the same place as you made them in the previous row. That's the idea. Okay? I'm back around to where we started. Just keep on going round and around to get that hole small enough so we can start stuffing them. Okay? Now the head, we won't do this too. We'll just make a ball for the head. Okay? But his body is going to be this lumpy, out of shape, interesting. No two snowmen alike. Cute little guy. Okay? That's why I'm going to make them all that coffee stained, even though it's shiny. But I I stained it with coffee and didn't realize that I got it, and didn't see that ball of yarn. So I would have rinsed that coffee out, but it'll make an interesting snowman. Okay, I'm almost there. See how small my hole's getting? Like I said, you don't have to decrease on every row. You can do a row. Oh, sorry, hit the camera. I was trying to get more yarn. You can go all the way around and, you know, single crochets all the way around. You don't have to decrease every single row. Like I said, this is a very forgiving, whatever you do, it's okay. He'll be alright. He'll be cute no matter what you do. Alright, I got it small enough. Now I want to stuff him. So what I'm going to do is pull out a lot of yarn, a long tail. Oh, I don't want to get them off yet. So hold on, let me go get my stuffing. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with my stuffing. So grab some stuffing, pull my hook out of the way, stuff a little sucker. I put stuffing on this side. Then I turn them around and put stuffing. I know that looks like too much stuffing, doesn't it? I'm going to show you what I do. I overstuff my little guy. Yes, I do. I overstuff, and then get this all away. Then I roll. That kind of shapes it. Gets all the fabric in the little holes, in the little spaces, and then the poof that's poofing out is too much. Okay? But if you roll it, that way you can get in all these little nooks and crannies. Okay? Now, let me get mine. Put that away. Now, get your hook. Dig my thread out. Okay. Now, we'll want to, when you get this close, you want to decrease every 2 stitches. Okay, until you can't hardly do it anymore. Okay. Keep on going. I still got my fingers in the inside still, so you can still keep on going. And decrease. Oh, this yarn. It's going to be a pretty yarn, but I'm making a snowman out of it. Alright, see how little my hole is now? That's small enough. Get you a long tail because we're going to I'll redo that last stitch because it's not happy. No, it's not a happy stitch. Alright. Pull your tail out. And then we'll sew that shut. Make sure you get your, okay, and roll it around. Shape the way you want it. Like I said, I want my guy to be a little short and squatty. See these little indents? You can make them really indented or not. That's totally up to you. Okay? Alright. On to let's do the head. All right. Now the head, you make it basically the same way as you do a pumpkin. Except I'm going to start with, I think I'm going to start with 3 slip stitch, move my tail over, and I'm going to do 8 single crochets with this thick yarn. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Slip stitch to the first single crochet, chain 1, 1 single crochet back into that same spot. Put your stitch marker, put another single crochet back into that same spot. So you have 2 in there, 2 in each single crochet. So we have a total of 16. But I'm not doing 10 like we did the other one because I want a smaller head. So I'm starting smaller. To each stitch. I want to make sure I didn't put 3 in that one. Okay, I want to slip stitch to that top first single crochet, chain 1, single crochet back into the same spot. Place our marker. Now, single crochet in the next spot, 2 in the next, single in the next, single in the next, 2 single crochets in the next, single crochet, single crochet, 2 in the next, single crochet, single, and 2, single, single, 2, single, single, 2, okay, slip stitch to the top, chain 1, single crochet in the very top. Now I want to measure. I'm going to get my bottom. I'm going to lay him on top and see how big around the base is. That looks pretty good for the base of his head. I think that would make it good. So you do the same, and it's the same as the way we did this. You just add the next round. You do 3 in a row, then a double, then 2 in the next. Same. So let's say you got it to what size you want. So we're going to do singles in every stitch all the way around. Like I said, we don't have to, even though I did chain 1 up, that's okay. because when we get to that, I'll put my marker so I know where we started. Could you look at the little lump right there, the little bump? That's where we started. It's hard to tell sometimes. That's why I have you guys put a stitch marker there to mark that. Because it's easy now. It's easy when we start doing in the rounds, which this one will start. We don't have to count or just chain one up anymore. Now we're just going around in circles. One in each, making the circle, the sides of the head. We're making a ball now. So we're just doing single crochets all the way around again. We'll keep on doing this. We basically have almost the size we want. Then we'll start our decreases. And you don't want to do too big because you want to do your decreases slowly, not as fast as we did at the bottom. Okay, I'll go here at the where I started, so going around again. This yarn, being as big as it is, being a bulky 5, I call it, you go around once in it, and I can't believe how much bigger it makes it. This works up really quick. The bigger the yarn, the quicker unless you're making a huge, because I am going to make one now, this out of the Chanel, the big blanket yarn. I think he'll be cute. All that blanket yarn. But it would not show up. I tried quite a few different yarns. A lot of them didn't show up on camera. White on white doesn't show up too good. So, alright, let me check. Let me see. Alright, I think I'm going to start decreasing a little bit. So I'm going to do one decrease. I think I'm going to go on to the other side, halfway, and do a decrease. I want my decreases. Here I'm doing inside. I need flip. It's easier to do it on the crochet on the outside than in a bowl. Okay, there's where I started. I think I'll do a decrease here. I'll go on the other side, opposite of it, and do a decrease. And measure. My head getting too big? Might be have to decrease a little bit sooner than that. Let's do a 4th. Can't see around my stand. Don't want my head to be too big. I just look silly, wouldn't it? But I've been known to make silly things. looking better. I'm going to do a decrease. I think I want to do about every 4 or 5. I'll do every 5 stitches. So go about out to the end. Getting ready to. It's about ready to be small enough that I can stuff. Sorry, I'm not telling you exactly when, because everybody's yarn is going to be different. Everybody, your hook size is going to be different, and your size of your snowman will be different. I'm just trying to show you how you can make decisions to make your snowman yours, and how you can do it. So, but you see what I'm doing? I keep on looking and see the roundness of it and trying to close my hole up. All right, I'm ready for it to stuff the hole small enough that I can stuff it. Don't need quite that much stuffing, but that's what came out. Try not to stuff the yarn to the hole. Okay, and I do the same. Roll it around. What's sticking out, I poof out. I poke out. That means it's too much, because I want my holes to be closed. Okay. Now I just need to stitch the oops, need 2 loops there. Now this little guy, when I get that small, I'm going to do every other one a decrease, because the hole is so small. Okay. I go round, round, round until my fingers, I can't get my fingers, fingers in the hole anymore. All right. Oop. Got my hook stuck. Okay. Single. Okay. There we go. Okay, there's our head. Now, just cut up a long tail. Pull out our long tail so I can sew it on. Now we need to do the face. All right, I'm going to put you on hold, but I look for some black yarn and I'll be back. All right, I'm back to my black thread. So what I want you to do is decide which side you want his face to be. I think right here looks nice. Now put your black thread through the top, and put it through, and then I want you to we're going to do eyes. Put his eye through the stitch, the yarn, not in a hole, through the yarn. Now when you pull, don't pull it all the way through. Alright, I want to leave some of the yarn there. Okay, so now we're going to do what they call a French knot. Wrap the yarn. Let me see if I can zoom in. See, oops, too close. So the camera focus. There we go. Wrap your yarn around your needle twice or 3 times. Let's do it 3. Then go back in the same hole where you were and come out the very top. And the thread will go through the center of the hole of your knot. Now don't pull it really tight. See? Didn't that make a cute eye? Okay, let's do that again. Put your needle through where we want our other eye. I gotta move it so I can see. Make sure you put it through the yarn. Don't pull it real tight all the way through. Okay, let's wrap it around 3 times around our needle. Go back through, same spot it was. Pull your needle through the very top hole. Oopsie, lost my needle. You can just push. Don't pull it real tight. And there's his eyes. Now, you could do the same thing for his mouth if you want to. Make these little dots. Now you put your thread where we got it. Make little eyebrows. Oops, I pulled it too tight, didn't I? Can't see if I pull it too tight. Back up to the very top. Oops. Sorry if you can't see. Because I can't see. If I have it where you can see, I can't see. Okay. Okay, there's my little eyebrows. Now, the way I do these eyebrows, you can do the same way for the mouth. We can stitch the mouth. You can just make a slant for the mouth. But make sure you go through the yarn. Okay? You can do a stitch. See? You can stitch them out. You want. Oh. You can do dots, totally up to you. Okay? Pull it all the way back up to the front and just pull through. And your extra thread, you just poke it in the hole. Okay? Okay. Alright. Hold on, let me get some orange thread and we'll do a nose. Okay, I'm back with some orange. Just so you know, you can use any kind of thread you want. Thread, embroidering thread, yarn. I have to use yarn, anti-pilling yarn for my mouth and nose and eyes. This is, I believe, cotton. Let me look. Yes, it's PMA cotton. So, I'm going to go the same way in. Different ways you can do the nose. You could either make a nose out of polymer clay and on so many different ways. but I'm going to stitch, or second thought, let's do something different. What I'm going to do with my needle. Hold on. Put my needle in my shirt. Let me get a little hook here. I'm going to, let's crochet. I'm going to get a bigger thing of yarn here. Let's crochet a nose, okay? I think we should crochet one. I've never made a carrot nose before, so let's see if we can do that. Put this on our yarn. I'm going to chain one. I'll chain two. Then I'm going to single crochet in the first stitch. I'm going to chain one, turn my work. I'm going to oopsie. Single crochet. Turn one, turn my work. Single crochet in that. So I have 3 now, different single crochets. Oopsie, sorry about that. Let's see what that looks like. Do we like that? A little wide, I think. But I'm going to make it work because I want to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to slip stitch to this first one. Get my tail out of the way. Slip stitch. Oops, sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Let me cut. Let me pull my tail where I slip stitched. Pull it. Now, if I sew that on there, I think it'll be perfect. So let me get my needle. I'm going to thread this one that's in the point, and then I'm going to thread this through, just like you're sewing in your ends. I want to keep it a point. Okay, I'll cut that off. Okay, now thread this. Ain't very good. Little thread. Oh, all but one thread. And that always the way. Okay, let me lick it. Sorry. Let me get it closer so my bifocals will work. Okay, this one I'm going to go in and thread. I'm going to go up the top toe. Okay. Then I'm going to go back in, go over here. See, I'm going over here because I want to anchor the point of his nose down. Okay. So let me get a thread through the yarn, not through the hole, but through the yarn. Okay, I want to go through the point. It's kind of hard, but you can do it. squish it a little. I pulled it a little bit too hard. So now the point's inside him. And I'm going to go back in. And you can make your nose as long as you want. That's totally up to you. Move it over if you want. Mine's a little over too far. Just rearrange. Pull it back through the hole in the top. Make sure you don't pull too tight like I just did, because that made that point go back in that hole. I don't want that. Okay. That ain't bad for our nose. What do you guys think? Hmm? Could have moved them over a little bit farther. A little that way, a little bit too far, but it'll do. So let's poke it all down in. Okay. So I want to sew up my top. So I fold it over, and then I put my needle through. Makes it a lot easier. This fuzzy yarn. Now I want to in, out. I'll grab the other thread there. In and out, all the way around. Okay. And you pull it tight. And see how easy that was? Then this extra yarn, pull it through, and go clear to the bottom. Okay. Now, you can cut that off. All right, now we're going to sew up. What happened to my thread? Your thread could be hiding. So we're going to sew up the hole in the bottom. Now, if you don't mind that hole in the bottom, you don't have to sew it up. It doesn't hurt anything. Let me try and thread this. Needle's a hard thing. I might have to get a bigger eye needle. I might. It's threading it. Let me get a bigger eye needle.